So I've been telling you guys the last couple of weeks that Donald Trump has been asking both Korea and Japan for cash. And it's finally reached the American news as this is Reuters. Trump says South Korea and Japan will pay billions up front, it's in quotes, in investment. And it's been the news all over here because the big question is, why does Trump need suddenly all of this cash? And again, we're talking about billions of dollars that Trump's asking. Now Trump's talking about publicly, because the Koreans have sort of outed him. Have a listen to this.
And we're doing well. We've never done this well. We have, because of the tariffs that are coming in, the deals that are being made, $950 billion in one case. $950 billion, where previously they paid nothing. We have, as you know, in Japan it's $550 billion. South Korea's $350 billion now. That's up front. And one of the things I can say, I announced it lightly before, but we're taking in tremendous amounts of money with tariffs. We've never seen anything like it.
네, 자, 이런 가운데 $1 환율은 1,400원.
And I want you to hear the announcers like, right? It's like weird. Like, how do you report this to the people that, you know, you're trying to do business with Trump and he keeps asking for cash? And the key words that Trump was talking about was like upfront or advance payment. Now, I understand you don't, understand Korean entirely, but just listen to this. And what you're listening to, listen for the words upfront, advance payment, because they're trying to explain to Koreans here in Korea, like, what's going on with Trump.
네, 조금 전에 트럼프 대통령 얘기 들었습니다만 3,500억 달러 선불로 내라. 네. 그러면서 업프론트라고 그랬어요. 네. 우리가 뭐 흔히 뭐 영어는
Here's like upfront, right? They're like trying to figure out like what the heck is Trump saying, and they use his particular words because it matters. Because why does he want this cash? Let's listen a little bit more.
잘 못합니다만 저도 어드밴스드 페이먼트가 선불 아닙니까?
네, 맞습니다.
업프론트하고 좀 어감이 다른 건가요?
네, 뉘앙스가 좀 다릅니다.
네.
이제 업프론트 방식. 이게
네.
트럼프 대통령은 that's upfront 이렇게 얘기했는데
네.
업프론트 방식은요 어떤 거냐면.
You hear him say it over and over again, up front, advance payment, up front, advance payment. So what they're doing is repeating the language of Trump so that makes sure everyone understands that this dude's like out for cash. And it's freaky. And there's again, $350 billion. I honestly don't know what to make of it. I do know what they're talking about in Korea is if the Koreans were, say, to give, $350 billion to Trump in cash, let's say if the project goes wrong or there's some sort of corruption or whatever, then that money's gone. And that's what people are talking about. The other thing they're mentioning is too, if they were to actually do it, it's just too much money. It's like, I get it. It's like all the money, right? And I'll show you the chart here. They're putting up this like, okay, Japan's doing 550 billion. Well, not doing, but Trump wants 550 billion from Japan. Trump wants, 350 billion from Korea. And they're showing percentages here. So like this is our percentage of GDP. That's like 80%. Or this is the percentage of our budget. That would be like 69%. Or this is how much cash we have on hand. That'd be like 84%. Like, why is Trump demanding all of our cash? It doesn't make sense. And it's kind of crazy because they have to talk about this in somewhat of a serious way because it is the news and does have to do with international relations. But how do you talk about someone who's like saying a bunch of crazy stuff? Now, one of the things that they do, and my wife was talking about it because it doesn't quite translate exactly to English, is that sort of the way that they say things or the words that they pick, they'll sort of makes Trump seem like, why are you always self-praising yourself? And that was one of the translations, self-praise, or why are you always whining, or why are you always repeating the stuff that you have said before? And it's kind of funny how they again make fun of Trump, but in a polite way. In comments though. And because people always ask what do regular Koreans say, they don't have to be so polite because they're not on TV. But this is what regular Koreans are up to. They say, this is ridiculous. This is absolutely unacceptable. This is robbery. And I keep hearing that language from Koreans. Like when you talk about Trump demanding that 350 billion, robbery, you also hear the word gangster quite a lot. Here's another person from Korea. They say, why is Trump demanding 350 billion in cash? Because if Korea collapses, it's IMF, he can acquire all of Korea's semiconductor shipbuilding and other companies at a bargain price. So a lot of people keep thinking that Trump is trying to, figure out ways to buy Samsung or LG or whatever and bankrupt Korea and then try to buy it for everything. That's some speculation. I don't know how exactly that would work. And if that's indeed the speculation, I don't think Korea is going to play along with this game. We're not that stupid, right? I mean, and listen to more from comments from Korea. New colonialism. If you don't want to be hit, give it all up. I won't hit you, so give it all up, right? And then basically people are treating Trump like he's a gangster. Or alliance friends, the U.S. only sees Korea as prey. This is also NBC. Again, they're talking about the $350 billion. I mean, it's the headlines everywhere because, like, why does the dude want it? And listen to it again.
한국과에 비한 투자 금액 3,500억 달러는 선불이라고 했습니다.
In Japan, it's 550 billion. South Korea is 350 billion now. That's up front. We're taking in tremendous amounts of money with tariffs. We've never seen anything like it.
Right, so the word up front. And it's strange, too, because if the USA is so rich and you're so rich from all of the tariff money, why are you asking cash from other countries if you're so rich and so awesome? Or if you're so smart, America, like, why do you need Korean technology, right? Do you understand? Like, it's kind of weird. And then they're also trying to explain the Wall Street Journal, sort of the article with Lutnick asking for more money, etc. And they're trying to make it really clear to the Korean people of, like, how crazy these people are. There's no other way to put it. They say it in polite ways, but I'm just showing you guys. And they keep showing us images of, like, all these dollars. And then they'll talk about Trump, like, demanding money. So it is a bit comical. It's sad, it's serious, and comical all at the same time, because then they'll go through and trying to translate Trump's tweets of, like, you know, why are we putting, that's Trump, why is Trump putting tariffs on, you know, sofas and upholstery and, you know, vanity? No, seriously, that's what they're, like, was it, what are we doing, trucks now? And it's like, it's you know, it's crazy in English, like, I'll just pause this here. It's crazy in English where, like, we're talking about kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and associated products, that's like 50%, or talking about upholstered furniture, they translate that here to sofa, same thing, but it's crazy they have to, you know, interpret this stuff.
So we're going to make sure that our farmers are in great shape because we're taking in a lot of money.
So if that is indeed the case, it's like, why do you need our money if you're taking a lot of money, right? Listen to some more Korean comments on this. Here's one right here. During the negotiations in July, we agreed to loan and guarantee of $350 billion, but after enjoying it with Japan, we are now pressuring them to deposit the entire amount in cash within 45 days like Japan and invest an additional $200 billion. So that's the thing that has been strange is Trump, I guess from their point of view, Trump wants to control all the cash. That's why he wants it up front or advance payment, however you want to call it. And then the idea is that once Trump picks, like, you know, where the money is going to be used for, then I guess Korea and Japan have 45 days to give him the money. And it was funny because people in the comments were mentioning how this, you know, sounds like in a hostage sort of thing to where, you know, was it planned that they are going to basically kidnap and hold hostage the, you know, Korean workers at Hyundai LG, and then say, hey, you got 45 days to cough up the cash. I mean, that's what it feels like, but it became a whole international embarrassment for the U.S., so they, you know, released them, and they're back now in Korea. And then they keep trying to get the Korean workers to come back and also asking for money. It doesn't make sense. This is another comment from a Korean says, at this point, we need to pressure the U.S. by making public in detail what Trump has demanded, as the regulatory system said. So basically, how do you, you know, fight against a bully or a gangster? You just basically out what they're doing. And you're also warning other countries to basically not do business with Trump, because you can see this stuff he's trying to do, basically extort people. Another person says, we need to cut ties with the U.S. Is that an alliance? It's robbery. Or this, another person says, it's better to just face tariffs. Hyundai's U.S. sales are already 40% domestically produced. They say they're raising that to 80%. So the basic idea here is that Trump is saying, okay, you know, build factories in USA, and then we'll lower tariff on Korean goods, and people in Korea are just like, well, we're better off just building in Korea, and just, you know, if they have to be higher goods, they have to be higher goods. And if it weakens the Korean won, meaning that it's certainly possible that it could collapse, but that would make imports to USA cheaper for Americans, so it may balance out. Point being, no American jobs. So the whole Trump, you know, policy here is going to backfire. Here's another Korean says, not a thug, but a devil. How can Trump be such a person? The secret of his success is intimidation. Now, I do want to show you what Korea's leadership is up to. So this is actually President Lee. He's actually on Wall Street. And it's pretty interesting, New York Stock Exchange in particular. He was basically meeting with people and ringing in the bell. Let me show you guys this.
세계 최대 증권시장 뉴욕 증권거래소의 개장 타종식. 전 세계에 생중계되는 오프닝 벨을 이 대통령이 직접 울립니다. 대선 후보 시절
So basically what he's doing, he's signaling to the world that Korea is open for business and trying to encourage investment. And I just want you to listen to kind of how he relates to people and listen to his voice. Just listen for a little bit here.
매우 아쉬운 거는 아직 모건 스탠리 지수에 대한민국 시장이 편입되지 못한 거죠. 모건 스탠리 혹시 오셨습니까? 오늘 특별히 뵙고 싶었는데. 네, 잘 부탁드립니다.
And so he was trying to encourage, you know, like this situation, Morgan Stanley, hey, can you add Korea into your investments? Wait, hey, where are you, Morgan Stanley, right? And he's trying to be friendly and talk with people. But in my opinion, he's doing the right thing. What he's basically doing is saying, hey, if you look at the Korean companies and the Korean market, we're actually undervalued. The reason why people have been discounting Korean equities is because people think that with the North Korea situation, it's unstable, unsafe, et cetera. And he's trying to reassure people, no, we're stable, we're transparent, and we're open for business. And essentially what's going on here is President Lee is trying to basically go around Trump and just like, hey, I don't have to deal with Trump. Why don't I just go directly to Wall Street and encourage investment in Korea? And we don't have to necessarily build, you know, factory stuff in USA. Why not just do it all domestically in Korea? So that's sort of what's going on. You can see him right there. And there's a really interesting, essentially, media blitz by the Koreans to out Trump. That's essentially what's going on. So I just want to let you guys know it's also hit the American news. So it's as successful as it's in Reuters now. And basically, they're reporting that, you know, Trumpers wants to get cash from both Korea and Japan, and I guess the language is upfront. Does it have anything to do with, you know, the Argentina bailout that Trump wants to do, or does it have anything to do with this emergency military meeting that Haagseth is calling? I mean, who knows? We're going to find out soon, as all this stuff seems to be coming to a head. And in my opinion, the Trumper people, how wish I were to say it, they act like everything's so urgent and emergency all the time. And maybe it is. Maybe they know something that the rest of us don't know, that things are really bad, and therefore Trump is demanding cash. I'd like to hear you guys' thoughts on this, and I appreciate your time, and I'll catch you on the next video.